Good morning, Jimmy. I'm gonna pick up where I left off the last two videos, exploring how we arrive at our truth. It was 2014 and I was ashamed. I didn't believe the life I was leading was meaningful. If I had asked somebody what was meaningful, they would have told me their opinion. But I didn't want story. I wanted the real truth. So I looked around and tried to notice what was true about the world. What seemed true was that the institutions that were supposed to be uplifting and supporting people were actually bringing them down and burdening them in order to keep them there. This was especially true for Black and brown people, many of whom were shouldering the burden of poverty because they didn't have the academic credentials that would give them financial security. So the meaningful response to the way the world was to become a teacher and lift some of this burden off of people, particularly underprivileged minorities, since it's only meaningful to help someone graduate if they wouldn't have graduated otherwise. When I look back on this thinking now, I find it painfully lacking in nuance. But I was deliberately not asking questions. I thought hearing people's opinions would take me farther from the truth, and passively noticing the world would bring me closer. So when this particular narrative seemed to be all over the place, I didn't realize that it was a narrative at all. Of course, in 2014, I was in my junior year studying music. I thought I needed to get a degree that would allow me to teach high school English so that I could help people attain academic success. I wanted to make sure I would be a good fit as an English teacher. It never occurred to me that I could ask my former English teachers what drew them to that career and what would make someone a good fit for it. Seeing for myself meant taking the first job as an English teacher I was offered, which happened to be in Beijing, China. So in fall 2014, while you were headed off to your freshman year at the University of Alabama, I left for China. Even if I hadn't gotten fired after only teaching a handful of classes, teaching Chinese kids English as a second language would have provided me little information about teaching American high schoolers English language and literature. I came back to the US that November, and within a year I decided teaching high school English was not the career I wanted to pursue. I would like to say that I learned a lesson from this experience, but the coping mechanism of bypassing what I or anyone else thinks about something in favor of being with what is stopped me from realizing that other people could be my teachers if I asked them questions, and it stopped me from learning. It's only been recently, as I've been healing my trauma, that I've seen that a different way is possible.